materials you will need are 4 stir sticks of about the same relative size, 2 crappy Chinese binders, gotten for less than 50 cents at Walmart, an assortment of drill bits, along with an assortment of screws and washers. You'll see which ones you need later. String and an assortment of rope. Optionally, you can have a Sharpie, super glue, Gorilla Tape, and a long wooden dowel. Also, for your main body, you'll need a large rectangular tray. For this, I'm using the type you hold plants in when you go to a nursery, along with a board, which is shown beneath it. Additionally, you'll need 1 bicycle, preferably a mountain bike, in good condition. First, you'll want to locate the back tire of your bike and examine the area near the axle, which should contain 2 small holes, as you can see here. These small holes are used for attaching things, and in this case I will be using a 3/16 inch screw, as you can see here in my hand. This 3/16 inch screw fits perfectly into the back of my bike, but you may need to adjust yours based on what type of bike you have. Also, you'll want to select a drill bit to go with your screw. The drill bit should be just a smaller measurement, just by maybe 1/16 or 1/64 off of the screw. Here I'm using an 11/64 inch drill bit. Next, you'll want to take all your stir sticks and line them up, and drill a hole not too close to the edge, approximately 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the stir sticks. Make sure they're lined up before you drill. That should create a nice hole through all of your stir sticks. Next, you'll want to take and drill a hole in the other side of the stir sticks, fairly close to the end also. As you can see, we have a nice hole through all of our stir sticks. You'll be using 2 stir sticks on each side of the bike. So we'll put these over on this side when we get to that side. We'll want to take the 2 stir sticks we have with the 2 holes drilled, 1 in each end, and line them up with the oversized washers and our nuts and bolts on the hole in the frame. Okay, now I will demonstrate how to attach it to the bike setup. You'll want to take the broader end, one of your bolts, and one of your oversized washers, and begin by threading the oversized washer on the outside. Then you'll put this through the hole. I prefer the outside hole, though the inner hole, because the inner hole may interfere with gear shifting. You'll want to line that up through there. Then, on this side, you'll want to attach your other...
So it goes bolt, you put a washer on, oversized washer, stir stick, between the stir sticks, the bike part. On this side, we'll tighten it more later, but there is the nut. Same on this side, if you'd like to take a look. You've got side view, you've got bolt, oversized washer, stir stick, bike, stir stick, bolt.
Now, you're going to want to take your 2 cheap binders and remove the plastic outside. This can be done simply by prying it off. These parts right here that we will be using later actually came out of a stiff back binder. Now, you're going to want to take your 2 binder clips and open them up. Then, you're going to want to locate the part on your frame that has holes. This will be an essential part of the operation. Now, you will want to thread these through one of the holes and snap them both shut so that they are firmly locked into place. Now comes the tedious part. You'll be wrapping the entire or part of the length of those metal rods with tape and string. This is where your optional tape will come in. Now, it is recommended that you use tape, but you could just go straight to stringing it. To tape it, to begin with, you'll want to make sure both of these are aligned. Then, you'll want to take your tape and wrap it so that the O's will stay aligned. One of the upper rings. Now, as you may notice, it is locked more securely. Now what you want to do is take some string from your string roll. This is just standard kite string I have right here. And begin by tying a knot around this part. You can use a granny knot, a square knot, or just any plain old knot in order to achieve this, as long as it is locked on tightly. Then you're going to begin wrapping it slowly but surely up. Now, as you can see, I've decided to only bind a small portion of the total rod. This is for time's sake and could easily be done without taking too long. If you wanted, you could bind the whole thing, but that would consume much more time and be less practical. Next, you'll want to take a section of rope and wrap it around the upper section of your thing. This will ensure that it has greater stability. Now you'll want to start off by tying a knot. You don't want to get your brake or gear shifter cords in there, but you'll want to start off by tying a knot around the base. I recommend tying a 2 half hitches, as that has worked well for me. Of course, if you prefer another knot, that's just fine. Now this rope is quite long, so I'll fast forward you to. So I've gone around and wrapped this around the bike. So the string basically secures this thing even better. It won't move as much side to side, and the less movement the better. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this string, grab a knife and some super glue. This is your optional super glue. You're going to cut the thread, the string, right about here. And then you don't want that to come undone. So what you're going to do is you're going to take some of your super glue and apply it. You can also apply a bunch to your thread, as it will provide extra enforcement. This will harden and provide a nice solid layer. If more stability is desired, you may add the optional dowel along the side portion of your bicycle. Here I have it secured by bungee cord here and put through the threaded rope right here. It is pretty strong and will add a lot of support to your bike rack. Now you're going to want to take your tray and secure a board to the bottom of it. I've already done this step, as you can see here. the board should be secured in the center. It doesn't have to be too tight, but it should be fairly tight. I've done this impromptu knot along with this fanned out pattern to make sure that this board is the backbone of this plate. Up here we have a loose one which we will be securing into this part right here.
As I was saying, when the battery almost died and the memory card got filled up, I've put this up around there and back down to here, and then right here I took a blowtorch and melted this part a little bit, and you can see I've melted this part a little bit so that it's sturdy and it's pretty permanent, but it provides better stability. Ooh, it's still a bit hot.
So now we're going to do more tying and secure those parts to this part.
We've progressed to the stabilization phase. As you can see right here, we've strapped the main backbone board to our dowel and our binder part. And then up here we have this piece, which goes from right around the center back part. Now, using the hole in the upper part of your stir stick, you're going to want to thread a thin rope through that and tie it to part of your tray up top so that these supports go up and connect sturdily to this part. The same will be done right here.
Now your rack should look like this. The supports should be connecting from the lower part of the axle, set up frame around there, and it's going to come up, connect up here. It's pretty sturdy, as you can see. Now we don't want things falling through our bike rack, so this is where the pieces from the old notebook come in. They slide very nicely into place, giving it a finished appearance. Now on to our last step. Your final step is to tighten the nuts on the bolts that you originally put in place. I'm using pliers, but you can use any setup that you'd like. You want to tighten them so that these parts are secured, as well as on this side, making sure that it's tightened down just enough, but not too much. To finish it off, I'll be adding some super glue in between these two pieces right here to ensure that they stay together. I will also super glue the bolts. This should be done on both sides.